I'm an immigration attorney from Brooklyn, New York. In today's live Facebook presentation, I would like to talk to you about special immigrant juvenile status. At least in New York and other states, for kids who are over 18 but under 21 to qualify for juvenile status. Special immigrant juvenile status is a relief that get in the green card that one can get if they're a child who are, at least in New York, are under 21 years old, not married, they were neglected, abandoned, or abused by one or both parents, and a family state court intervened and issued special orders. So in this video, I would like to talk a little bit about the qualifications for the special immigrant juvenile status, because I see many kids, many young adults, young adult before 21, they do not know that they can get that relief, okay? So first of all, the person has to be under 21. There was an argument with SIJS about the age of the child. SIJS were saying that the child has to be only under 18, but this is not true, and the argument was won in federal court. So any child under 21 who otherwise qualifies should and can and should be using this relief under 21. The child has to be not married, unmarried. It's very important. The child can actually herself has a child. This is not by itself a stop or a bar to the status, because we do see young girls who do have children and they're not sure what to do. So that's very important to know that. Abandoned or both parents. What does it mean? It means that if the child resides now in the United States, let's say with a mother or father, put to them, but went missing, never cared about them, went missing at least 6 months ago and decided, you know what, I do not want to know you and doesn't help anymore. Or still lives with them but is abusive, verbally, physically, does not provide for the child, that's neglect, you still can win your case. All right, that's very important to know, because if both parents are around, they can, but there should be a finding made that one of the parents is abusive, neglected the child. So it's going to be a harder case. Sometimes for abuse cases, a judge requires a full evidentiary. There can be consequences when the person is in the United States for the person who is abusive to the child. So that's another point, very important. Another qualification for this status is that the child stay in the United States. How can you demonstrate that the child really will not have a chance in their home country, right? We also can attach documents showing that there is no place like that would care for the child established by the state, no planning resources for the child in their home country. One specific types of cases that you should know about that are winnable in court is when, let's say, a father, usually unfortunately it's a father, who never cared for the child from birth, okay, is not listed on the birth certificate, or sometimes listed but never bothered. All right, that's a case where you can win, even though the parent is not listed on the birth certificate at all. It's actually going to show, it's going to make your case easier, because then you don't have to serve that parent. Because the way the process works is the first step for special juvenile status is to go to family court and request a guardian order. Here where many people are confused. A guardian does not have to be your parent. It can be any 21 years old. Sometimes it can be your older friend if you don't have anyone else. That person simply states that they will they will, okay? Sometimes they say they will provide financially whenever they can, but there is no obligation in law. They will not be responsible for alimony towards the child, and there is no adoption here. It's a guardianship that automatically will end when person reaches 21 years old. So for guardians, those people who are afraid to become guardians because they think, oh, I will have to adopt the child. No, you will not have to adopt the child, okay? You're just a guardian, somebody who's overseeing child's affairs, and under the law you don't even have to live with a child, but of course it prefers that you do live. The living arrangement, that's another important point. In many counties in the state of New York, after the case is filed, the judge will order social services to come and check on the child to make sure that the child is safe, the child has acceptable living conditions. Another point, the guardian and every adult above 18 years old, and sometimes even applicant siblings, will have to be fingerprinted, and will have to be fingerprinted to make sure they do not have a child abuse record. For the of the special immigrant juvenile case as well, and there is a hearing, finds that there are grounds for the guardianship and so on. The judge will issue an order of guardianship and an order of special findings. It's very, very important. Without the order of special findings, so-called, you will not be able to proceed further and file your case in this presentation. For children who are out close to the 21 years old mark, they have to make sure they try to expedite their case in family court. And their goal is to obtain the orders from family court and submit the case to SIJS before they turn 21. Once they locked in their age and the case is still pending and they turn 22, 23, 24, hopefully not that long, the age purposes at the time when they file the case with the immigration authorities, SIJS, when the form I-360 is filed. If you're 1 day late, you will not get approved, and they do not care what the excuse was. Just remember that. So special immigrant juvenile status is an excellent status for children, those who are under 21, who were abandoned, neglected, or abused by one or both parents, who are willing to go to court to testify before the judge about that. And I hope this video is helpful. I have more information on specifics of special immigrant juvenile status on my website. For example, information about how to serve the parents. Do you need to serve them? What are the rights of the parents in this in family court proceedings? And as I said, read more about it on our website, www.shaltsova.com. Thank you.